bumpers, bumpers. Oh, look, an Audi. My friends don't like Audi, do they? Many years back, Audi was driven by men in suits that had important jobs. These days, it's okay to wear a baseball cap and a t-shirt. Although the one I'm thinking of there is the Audi A3, which is a complete thug's car. This one, as you can see, is just a bit bigger. This is an A4. In fact, it's an S4. What do you reckon the S stands for? Is it sugar? Is it spoons? Is it so this is a genuine Audi S4, which has 333 brake horsepower, and that's quite a lot. But is it? I've got a Rover 25 with 103 brake horsepower, and no doubt this will weigh about 5 times the weight. Audi's one of those cars I've never really been mad on, but it's not the car, it is very much the people who drive them that's put me off. I'm reasonably sure that this car is going to be quite well put together. It's probably going to be fast as well. Audi are very different to the likes of Ford or Vauxhall because over the years they don't really do a great deal of design change. So their cars always look almost the same. But that has helped them not look so old. It doesn't look that different to the 2003 Audi. But this is a 2015, and I presume that the 2022 Audi looks the same again. Look at that chin on there. What does that remind you of? As you can see, there's a few minor modifications to this car, like that extra chin there. The red Quattro, I'm not sure if it should be red. These rose tinted spectacles at the front, they're interesting. They definitely didn't come out of the factory with Speed Hunters written on the windscreen. And look at this rather unusual coloured screen. The main alteration though can be seen around the back. These monstrous tailpipes. Not sure how big the original ones were, but they definitely didn't look like that. An Audi should be built better than any other car going, so I cannot skip the door shut sound on this. Even though the windows are down, it should still sound good. Sounds really heavy about this one. As you'd expect, this car has leather seats with S4 written on, embossed. Why wouldn't it have? Inside is quite a button fest of carbon fibre and buttons and a... oh, look at that. Is that standard, that? It doesn't feel like it is.
The switch cover's not, but the switch is.
See, that doesn't feel like Audi build quality, that bit. Lots of red bits everywhere to remind you that you're in a sporty Audi. And the one with the flat steering wheel as well, just in case you've got flat knees. You may guess that this isn't real carbon fibre, but just something stuck on there to make it look like carbon fibre. You'd think Audi would actually give you that sort of thing in the first place, but no. Anyway, we like to press buttons and things in here, don't we? See what they feel like. That's surprising, actually. I was expecting that to have a really good chunky feel, but it doesn't. It's quite clicky. Gosh. Sat nav. That's on the screen. Turn off. And radio again. They're not quite as chunky feeling as I was expecting. The radio came on then. Of course, I got to switch it off straight away, and it took me a while to figure out which one of these wheels it is that does it. And it is that one. Do you know what? I still was expecting it to feel a bit more chunky than this. What about this door? How does this feel? It's full of clattery things in the pocket. Switches again, they sort of feel not quite as sturdy as I was expecting. The door pull's another important one. That's nice. That's a bit clicky, that one. But the all the dash and everything's all it all looks very nice. It's all very Audi-ish. How many people carry around an alien with them? Oh, he's got his own sweets as well. That's good. Oh, look at that! The boot's opening for me. I didn't even ask it to do that. And it smells like cleaning products in here. How do you work this thing? Look, I'm failing this test here. Yes, it's full of cleaning products, which any man's car should be. I wouldn't have struggled to close that boot by myself using man strength. Underneath the bonnet we've got a big red engine. Looks like some sort of plastic chicken, to be honest. And it's clearly very, very full in there. The bonnet's quite long, but half of it's taken up with this section for other things like ECUs and window wipers, I guess. And then the body of the car seems to go quite a long way in, leaving the engine with no room to lose its heat. I'm sure it does somehow, but I'm not sure how. Why hasn't it got vents in the bonnet? That bonnet's almost as heavy as my car. Right, it's time to take the Audi S4 for a little drive. Will I be converted into Audi-dom and want an Audi? It's going to be a good test, isn't it? Will this car start as easily as I expect, or am I going to be left feeling embarrassed? That was easy. That's loud enough. Now that I've set off, I've discovered there's all sorts of other things that go on, and flashing lights in the footwell, and really I'm going to struggle to understand what I'm doing here. I'm now setting off in the Audi S4, nice and gently, because that's what you should do. I'm not going to do anything abusive in this. And the first thing to say is what a lovely smooth gearbox change. There's no, it's completely seamless. When the car was stationary, the steering was really unbelievably light, and I thought, I hope it doesn't stay like that, and it hasn't. No, it's gone a bit heavier now, which it should have done, because you can't really drive a quick car quickly with the steering flapping about all over the place like a lost budgie. I imagine my passenger's rather nervous right now, because obviously it's his car, and I'm rather nervous driving his car, because it's not your usual £500 thing that I end up in. Put out the way over that speed up there, just in case. It's got a rather interesting warble to it. Have you ever driven it this slowly?
Not really, no.
Once I get over the brow of the hill and onto Kingsway Business Park, I might just put my foot down and get to the dizzying speeds of 40 miles per hour. That will be fun. It's very easy to drive slowly as well, because some quick cars are not. They just want to go quickly and they don't reward you for not going slowly. You have permission to put my foot down slightly?
Go for it.
I won't go mad. Whoa! Oh God, that's bonkers! That's quicker than I was expecting. I was expecting this to be just a bit quicker than something like that Subaru, but that's fairly quick, Matthew.
It's not bad.
You've got to hang on to these roundabouts quite well as well, isn't it?
I should do.
I think the fact is you don't need to drive it like a nutter to make it go quickly. It will just go quickly even if you don't really want it to do. Except you can make it go slowly. If that makes any sense. I'm sure it doesn't. I would imagine it weighs quite a bit more than a Scooby and more than the rest of the cars we're looking at here, except possibly that Mercedes. But here's the trouble again, just people in the way, aren't they? Why can't they just realise I've got a car to have a little drive in, and all I want to do is just briefly put my foot down just to see if I like it or not.
So that'd be interesting when it's got its 600 brake.
Are you saying that you've got plans to modify it, make it quicker?
Oh, definitely.
That's an interesting idea. It's got an awful lot of noise about this, so it's just as well it goes the way it does. I might just get a little clear spot here. Maybe it's more fun just to drive it along at 30 miles per hour to set an example to other Audi drivers who at the moment would have been tearing past that truck. I feel like I've barely got it going so far. It doesn't feel that big to drive either. I was expecting it to feel a bit more boaty, yeah. Those gear changes are just incredibly smooth though. That was nearly 40 then. And again, very, very smooth through those changes. I'm impressed. I like it. Obviously that wasn't the biggest, furthest test drive ever, but I think the points has proven that this is a quick car. It's just there's nowhere really you can drive it properly, and that's probably the issue with all these Audi S3s that you see knocking about, is it's a similar kind of performance, and the owners just want to be able to drive like lunatics, and they don't see why they should spend the money on a car that can do that and not do it. So they'll do it regardless of whether it's appropriate or not. Now that was a mightily impressive car, both in terms of speed, handling, technology, and all the big button fest everywhere that we saw. The question is, do I like it? Yeah, I do, I like it. But would I have one? No, I wouldn't. And do you know why? Two good reasons. The first one is it's far too expensive, and the second, far too heavy on fuel. And the third one is I still prefer a Rover, really. It sounds a bit corny this, but as much as I enjoyed the power and everything else it had, it was missing that one thing that makes me like British cars in the first place. And to some people that might be, oh yeah, the shoddy build quality and the reliability, but we know that's not true. Build quality, it is quite good, but it's not as good as I was expecting. I was expecting it to be the kind of thing that would leave something like my old Rover feeling like a cardboard box, but actually it doesn't. The switchgear isn't really any better. It's just there's more of it, a lot more of it.